Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. You may be wondering why I'm wearing a graphic t-shirt underneath my sports blazer. This shirt says, an apple a day still leaves you 2 to 4 servings short of your daily food recommendations. And I chose it because it's a representation of how we don't really think that much about our food. So I'm going to tell you a couple of stories tonight about things that changed the way I think about food. First, when I was an undergraduate at UC San Diego, in my psychology courses, I took an elective course called Eating Disorders. And it was fascinating. I learned so much, and it really changed the way I think about food, especially since that class was right before lunch. And I would leave the classroom thinking, maybe I should have a salad. But one of the things that I learned was about corn-fed beef. And there's not a lot of, I'm not going to get into politics and all this stuff about corn-fed beef. It's just that you hear the commercials, you hear the commercials on the radio, see them on TV about 100% corn-fed beef, vegetarian diet. There's no mad cow disease here. And my professor was talking about this, and she pointed something out to me that I found fascinating. Cows don't eat corn naturally. Cows eat grass. Why would we want something that doesn't eat what it eats naturally? Cows don't eat corn. So we're feeding it something it doesn't actually eat, and now we're eating something that's not really in the natural chain of things anymore. Interesting. Well, I wonder what other kind of things there are out there. And I started watching this show called Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution. Has anyone seen that show? I love that show. I love it. So Jamie Oliver is a specialty chef from England, and he decided that he wants to come and help start a food revolution, hence the title of the show, in the U.S. He goes to a town called, what's the name of the town? It's in West Virginia, I think. And statistics have shown that the death statistics in that town are very high due to mostly obesity and the complications from obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, that sort of thing. And one of the things I learned in eating disorders was how much this is controlled by what you eat and how much you exercise. It all boils down to diet and exercise. He did a demonstration that really touched me. He took this chicken, a whole raw chicken, and he cut off the good parts. He actually demonstrated to a bunch of kids who try to illustrate a point. So he took this whole raw chicken, he cut off the thighs and said, here are the thighs, stick them aside. Here are the chicken breasts, basically, and here, stick them aside. Here's all the good parts of the chicken, the wings and the thighs and stuff that we like to eat. And what he had left was this raw chicken carcass. It was all bones and leftover meat bits. And he took the whole carcass and dangled it in front of the kids, saying, would you eat this? Would you eat this? And of course the little kids are thinking, ew, no, I wouldn't want to eat that. So he takes it and puts it through a food processor and gets this meat pulp. And then feeds that through another strainer, and he gets this little slightly thicker meat pulp. Adds in some flour, a little some seasoning, some other things, and he shows this meat pulp back to the kids, like, would you eat this? And it's meat pulp. They just saw him put the carcass through the food processor. So they said, no, ew, we wouldn't want to eat that. And he shapes it into little chicken nuggets. He shapes it in a little
McDonald's bag.
Little round shapes. Fries them up, all right in front of the kids, and they come out all golden, crispy, and says, would you eat this? What do you think the kids said?
Yes.
Yeah.
We love chicken nuggets, yay! Give him. The look on his face, he was about to cry. Like, I just put this chicken carcass through a food processor and showed you how I make chicken nuggets, and you still want to eat it. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And there are a lot of these things that he showed throughout the show. How much sugar is in chocolate milk? How much, chicken nuggets. Obviously, that's pretty scary. Another thing that he did was go to a family and say, let's lay out all of our food for a week. and put it all out on the table. Everything's one color, about golden brownish color. It's a little terrifying. And this is all examples of how you don't really think about what goes into your food. And an interesting study I read recently is that there was a study done at Princeton where they fed 2 groups of rats. One had sweetened water with high fructose corn syrup, and one had water sweetened with sugar, straight sugar. The rat that had the sugar, or had the sweetened water with high fructose corn syrup, gained more weight than the rats that ate sugar. Sugar, straight sugar. And then they monitored a second group, and they fed them over their lifetime. The rats that had ingested high fructose corn syrup gained 48% more fat than the ones that had sugar. If you notice the drinks we picked out tonight, they don't have high fructose corn syrup. I checked the labels on the back. So what can we learn from this? Check your food labels. Think about where your food comes from. It's not go out and change the way you eat. Just think a little bit more about where it comes from, how you got it, and what's in it. And hopefully you can go out and have a slightly healthier life. Yeah.